Might as well just
Hey everyone.
shut the webcam.
I'm AG. This is IJ, and
Hi, Dick.
CB's finally back.
Yay!
Back from the dead, sorta.
Yeah, he's had several.
Teach me. No, wait. Keep from me the secrets of life. I beg you. I don't want to hear them.
The secret to life is that you never buy mangoes when they're out of season because they're fucking expensive.
And they're also and they also taste terrible.
Well, I mean, you can ripen them.
What?
You just put them with
Pears? Yeah, they.
Fuck off. No, if you want to ripen fruit, you just store them with some tomatoes.
Yeah. So these were 5 episodes. 3 of them were very important, and 2 of them were totally
Boring as sin.
totally annoying filler.
Hey,
It wasn't. It wasn't.
He
even
fell asleep
good
in the last
filler.
2 episodes.
Okay,
so
fuck up. I was also
Being a
exhausted. That's
parent
not my
was a
fault.
good
Yeah.
piece of filler, but this filler was absolutely pointless.
No, best filler was Food Wars.
yeah. So how about we just jump into episode 51 then?
Food Wars?
Yeah. So
I barely even watched Food Wars. And I was
love Food
expecting
Wars.
more from this episode because I was so used to the crazy shenanigans and the pickled fish that goes on in Food Wars sometimes.
It's the truest
He
of shows.
pulls out the fish from the cooler and it's encrusted in pickle brine. It's like
So this woman who is clearly fiery and Spanish.
Where
she's a
in the
flamenco
world
dancer.
is
Yeah.
Carmen Sandiego?
and she's
And-
named Carmen.
And
so.
her 2 associates, man with a small face and a man with massive nostrils.
Oh yeah!
This
I
man
remember
can
that.
smell your fear.
Literally, cause his nose can encompass your body.
He can smell you to death.
Yeah, but she really does feel like a Food Wars character, and it's funny because Food Wars was like not even was created like 10 years
It
afterwards.
wasn't even like a conceptual idea at this point.
Yeah. So
And I don't think, and it wasn't even that the idea came from this because that's impossible.
And it's not even the first time in... I shouldn't say that. It is the first time, but it's not the last time in One Piece we're not going to get just blatantly a Food Wars. When we get to Navarone, we get an actual another Shokugeki. It's actually a Shokugeki. Like, actually like Food Wars, we get to see the process of them making the stuff.
So we
I was
have
not
a
hungry
moment where
during
she's
this
like,
episode.
"I challenge you, tornado away!" She spins up into the air, and then we'll
And,
look
like,
back down. She's
Sanji
just
doesn't
just-
miss a beat. He's like, "Oh, you searched all over the East Blue just for me. I'm so
Frying
honored."
pan!
And she just
Yeah.
like decks him.
With the frying pan.
Yeah.
yeah.
She's
So
obviously Princess Peach.
he goes, "Well, I'm not really accepting the
Or
challenge
Rapunzel.
anyway because that would be not what I'm here for." And so he just walks off. So are we going to talk about the scene where Buggy pays for Luffy's meal?
He eats furiously in that
Yeah.
scene. Just like, ah,
I have fury.
And then Buggy, through shenanigans, pays for Luffy's meal as they walk off, and now they're upset.
Can we just have the entirety of One Piece, but instead of any time Buggy talks, it's just Fawful?
Oh gosh.
Can I second this? It would be so
I am,
much funnier.
I am the dangerous Finkrat the pirate.
Like-
So
Every scene of Buggy would be 10 times funnier and 10 times more interesting if he would just fopple. throughout the
It's
entire-
Shanks! You should give this to Luffy. Why would I do this, you Finkrat? I have fury.
so
Because I told you to.
I have this treasure map. Okay.
So they reach the open
Love
air
that
fish
scene.
market as Sanji basically finds out that because they're so close to Reverse Mountain, a lot of fish from other regions end up there.
Which is a clue that Sanji's dream of finding the East Blue might actually be a real thing.
And of course, the first
All
fish
right.
he pulls out is the fish that Hercules pulled out of the water against the centaur
Elephant?
thing in Hercules.
Yeah,
No, the weird blue fish with the big pink lips is the same thing he pulled out of the water looking for his sword.
A Brockfish?
Pretty much.
A shiny bruxfish.
No, shiny Bruxfish looks like a Mexican Christmas tree.
Oh, right.
Instead of like Yvonne.
But can we talk about the guy with the fish fin hair and bugged out eyes? Like
He's fun.
he never blinks.
He's
he never blinks.
secretly a fish man in disguise.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, I would assume they'd be the best fishers, so...
I mean, you have me there.
Although it is kind of nice that we do get a retelling of All Blue, but that's basically what this episode amounts to, is hey, dreams are important, guys.
Especially when they could very well be true.
Especially when you believe in something for so long, despite people telling you no, and then you actually run into a thing that
could give proof because it's
right,
from the South Blue. So
yeah,
how
well,
did it
Sanji,
get to?
he saw the elephant bluefin tuna, and up till that point, he'd only seen that in a book as a kid, where everyone was saying, "Oh, that can't exist. That's silly. There's no way the fish like that could ever exist." But here it is, in front of him, on the ground, on
like set
the biggest head of lettuce they could ever find to lay it on the ground.
So, Carmen shows up to the
this head.
and they show off elephant tuna.
Elephant bluefish tuna, which I mean, it makes sense. South Blue is where a lot of the stuff like what's on that island with Broccoli Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all the dual animals that are like combinations, they come from South Blue. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like South Blue is in the directly opposite quadrant.
I believe so. I believe they are they.
Or is it on the other side of
no,
the
because you have North Blue here,
North Blue, South Blue, and
South
then
Blue,
West Blue,
East Blue, West Blue.
Okay,
Yeah.
So but
and they're in the they're in the
see,
East Blue, so South Blue.
A fish, especially of that small size, is unlikely to get through the Grand Line unscathed. Like, it's more likely it took a different channel entirely.
Well, I mean, it could potentially go through depending on weather and,
But it is actually kind of interesting that there might actually be a place where all of these different type of fish just coalesce. Even if it's out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. If all of those fish coalesce there, it's technically the All Blue.
See, one thing I'm wondering is whenever they show the map, they show the red line continent going around as the prime meridian.
It wraps around like a ribbon.
And
almost.
the Grand Line is the
equator.
equator. I'm wondering, if people are so convinced, the All Blue exists, why don't they just go to the other side of the red line continent? We know for a fact that the continent stretches all the way around the planet, so there couldn't possibly be an All Blue.
Because
there's always land.
Because the Holy Land is in that intersection of the red line and the.
Because the red line is near impassable unless you're a beastin' fishman. Then it's perfectly scaled.
Or Howland's Moving Castle.
Or Howl's Moving Castle.
Crossover needs to happen now. Get on it, Oda.
They already did. It's called the previous arc.
Get the fuck out.
Except for he's a lot more abusive.
Oh man, Hal, you're looking a little waffleish today.
Italian today, maybe.
So
you're looking very Italian.
They start up this. So this elephant tuna is in this contest.
As the prize.
In which Carmen is already challenging Sanji to. So he's like, I guess I'll have to accept it. So he goes over there.
Because he wants that fish.
As
he doesn't want to win. He wants the fish.
Which, to be fair,
and Usopp and Nami show up going, "Oh, what's the first fight? It's unintelligible squiggle versus unintelligible squiggle."
And then montage happens, and we don't get to see any of the battles except for the last
because the final match is obviously the most important.
Which, of course,
because if it was
also the first official.
We would see all of them.
For a long time, this was the only tournament arc in the entire series,
and took place in one episode, which
beats
filler. Out every other tournament arc at that time.
Yeah.
Because it only took one episode to get through the all of the brackets.
Yeah, but anyone that read the manga knows, oh, that's the tuna that he was carrying when they got back to him in the actual manga. So obviously he gets it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's obvious that Carmen is very flair and showing dramaticism, while Sanji's just flipping the fish in midair and cutting it straight in half, and then cleaning his blade and then setting it back to position.
He's tossing the fish in the air, slicing it, and then before it can fall, he turns the blade sideways and knocks the guts and the bones out of it.
Which is pretty sweet.
The man's is like...
The man has a natural gift for cooking.
For knives.
So he puts down his food,
that too.
And she puts down her food. And then they go, yeah, Sanji's the winner. And she's like, how did I lose? I was like, maybe because you put a whole crab with just a piece of bread on top of it. Maybe you should have done... Maybe you should have actually done more food instead of,
ramen, maybe?
Well, she misunderstood. She thought you had to put, crust on the crustacean.
That's the jokes!
Yeah, so they're like, rematch, whenever that might be. And it's like, sure, I'll see you.
We
Never.
see her
Maybe
again.
We never see her again because she's filler.
I didn't think so. It's like, do we ever see her?
No, because she's not in the manga, so there's no place to stick her in later.
Whoa. I just realized that whenever you talk, the microphone freaks out.
Does it?
It likes you.
Yeah.
Oh,
The microphone has a mad crush on you.
it's not the first one.
So the episode ends with Luffy's hat being blown by the wind and leading him back to the execution platform, which is the first sign that something is happening. Because the very next episode, episode 52, starts off with showing the title screen as mysterious clouds just start coming in towards the city.
Nami calls it because Nami is, as a navigator,
begins to freak out.
Well, Nami's good with weather. She's had to be as a navigator. So when they're walking along
Like,
with
it goes beyond just being
Sanji and
good.
Usopp are carrying the elephant bluefin tuna, and Nami's next to them, Nami suddenly stops and like, "What's the matter?" And she's like, "The air just changed. It's about to rain." And Usopp's like, "On a sunny day like this?" And she's like, "Yeah, and it's gonna be very heavy."
One mesh of clouds.
It goes beyond
went
just
across
being
the-
good.
the,
she has a sixth sense for being able to
Well, why do
tell
you
when
think
a
she has-
She's like an old woman, and she can feel the barometric pressure change in her knees.
What do you think
Probably
later
with
she
her
gets?
boobs,
I mean,
that's why they
she
got
gets
bigger.
she gets the Climatac later. There's no way that she'd ever be able to control the weather in the Climatac without having some knowledge of.
Yeah, that's my point. Is that her ability with the
She's
weather
secretly
goes beyond.
Skypiea. She's secretly from Skypiea.
Wouldn't surprise me. Actually.
So,
Because we don't know who her actual parents are. Her and Nojiko aren't actually related, despite looking like each
I
other.
love how many theories there was that she was secretly a fishman turned human.
Which might actually still be a thing until it's officially X'd out.
Oda comes out. It was a joke. She's not even real at all. They've been hallucinating her the whole time.
Hallucination and Luke.
Again, the original idea
and
was
Luke
worldwide
is actually
hallucination.
Way more
she
competent
was supposed to be a
than they ever
siren,
thought.
and she would turn into a manatee fishman.
Sea cow.
Mm-hmm.
Manatees are
But
dumb.
But
yeah,
I think the idea was that he wanted her to be non-fishman, so it would
they could
feel,
sell more.
It would
stuff
feel more
from
that
her.
she was not compliant with the group, maybe? Who knows? So, Knockoff Gen is standing there,
Why you do this to me?
as he's basically yelling up, like, hey, get off of there!
Oh
As,
yeah, he does look like Gin without a pinwheel, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or without the scars.
Mm.
Or
And-
without the tragic
and
backstory.
the mysterious woman comes up and just basically just knocks his head off, essentially.
He didn't. He wasn't using it for much.
Um,
I mean, he wasn't
He was just a background character.
like
Uh-huh.
Usopp.
and
Except
she
he likes
reveals
Usopp.
that she's actually Alvida, the really fat woman from the very beginning
And
of the
the
series.
first of what will come to be known as Luffy's harem.
Sup? She ain't about that life. Huh, he has a mystery mushroom. Worst written line ever. Oh, I can't wait till we get to that episode.
Yeah.
So
she was so impressed by the way he fought and that he was the only man who ever hit her, and apparently she liked it.
So
Her exact words, not mine.
So she now has a devil fruit called the smooth fruit, which made it so that
I
literally
thought it was the slip
all-
slip fruit.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
slip
it's
slip
slip,
fruit.
but
It's
it
also called the
made
smooth,
all of
smooth
her
fruit.
fat fall off of her body and made her silky smooth.
I thought it turned it into soap. It turned all her fat
I
into
know,
soap.
it
but-
does that as
Because
well.
rendered fat becomes soap, and you lose like 75% of the mass of rendered
No,
fat.
but soap is a completely different devil fruit that they show off later.
Oh, fuck it then.
If you remember, it's the woman from CP9.
Then it's lard. Lard
Yeah.
and butter are different.
Useful in different situations.
I like lard more than butter.
Lard.
Oh,
Lard.
I also like
Um,
the nickname that Luffy gives Buggy while he's trying frantically to remember his name. Buffoon the Clown.
Buffoon the clown.
Close enough!
Oh.
I mean, that's close enough to what his actual name is.
So, a Buggy shows up and he goes, "Ever since the day you blew me away, I have waited for my revenge."
Spoon! Spoon! Are you innocent? Yes, I'm innocent. You cleaning your room? Are you cleaning your room?
So
this would have been the
Smoker-
second time you almost killed me.
You're
from
fine.
A joke.
today.
You're fine. You're good.
Today. But Smoker's like they're at the station. Okay, wait for Luffy's head to get chopped off because obviously he's gonna just straight up die right now, and then just take everyone out. Make sure that no one survives. Oh, and also destroy any ship on the harbor.
I forget.
Pirate
Is this
ship,
happening
okay.
before or after the time where Smoker's pants eat ice cream?
This is
After.
after.
Okay.
I was
No.
like, I'm sorry, little girl, my pants have
That was the
eaten
first
ice
episode of
cream."
the
Okay.
last session.
Okay.
But
It's such a great scene. I got ice cream triple scoop.
Oh no!
here's some
Evil,
money for the-
evil, angry Smoker face. I apologize. My pants appear to have eaten your ice cream.
It's such a great.
Here's
scene.
money to get 4 scoops.
5 scoops.
5 scoops.
Yeah.
He was feeling really charitable today.
Smoker's the
pulls out a coin and
I
just
fucking
gives it
love
to her.
Smoker so much. He's like,
Everyone loves Smoker.
I have a GT that's tipped with sea stone, so if I poke you with it, your devil fruits turn off, and also I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. Hello there, children.
So
He just loves kids.
But he's
Luffy.
he's made of terror, so it's awful.
It's
So
why
Lu-
he's the best.
I love-
Everyone loves Smoker. Even Luffy
Smoker is
likes
honestly
Smoker.
one of the best characters, and I was really glad this is not the last we see of him.
I know. I would have.
If he was like the one note, if he was the one note kind of villain for this arc, that would have been different. But
I
then
don't
you
even-
realize, oh, this was essentially going to be the halfway point of the series,
See, one
in
thing
which Smoker actually like joined their crew as a liaison to the military, and it was like, nah.
See, one thing I like about Smoker is, like you said, he's not a one-note villain. He's not even really a villain. He's only going
He
after
is
Luffy.
lawful neutral.
He's
That
only
is the
going.
best way
Yeah,
to
he's
put it.
only going after Luffy
Lawful good.
because it's his job.
Mhm.
He doesn't even want to. He's like,
Like
I
we-
have to.
Like we said in the previous episode,
As we see,
it's
actually,
not
he's
just
lawful
about
good.
I must enforce the rules. It's the rules is all I know, and so I must live by them.
My drink almost tried to kill me.
Oh gosh.
It's a husk.
Yeah.
In the open.
It's 2 from.
So,
That's me
Luffy is-
2, drink 1.
Yeah, and me
so-
0, and me 1.
Warning: if this doesn't get uploaded, it's because Stacy got murdered by Oatmeal. It's what you get for eating it with a fork.
So
And I'll do it, and I'll do it again if I feel like it.
Totally triggered.
Luffy is getting really excited because he's never been to an execution before, and it's like, but it's your execution. Wait, you never told me this.
I didn't get an invite. I didn't RSVP. I didn't even buy something from the gift registry.
And then
Meanwhile, Moji is next to the Mary going, okay, I'm gonna light this thing on fire. He pulls it.
And actually, in a very smart move, they parked outside of the port, where they're gonna look for their ship first.
Well, I thought they did that so that the Mary could go graze.
Well, that too.
But what's really interesting is it cuts back to the Mary after Moji pulls out the matches and he starts lighting them, and Mary's eyes are now fully open and there's like a sweat drop on its head, and it's like,
Your first hint that Mary may or may not be a living thing.
yeah.
Which, this is a world in which there are pieces of fruit that give you the
Pieces of fruit.
the ability to turn into smoke.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the boat be alive?
Why wouldn't the elephant tuna exist?
So
See, okay, now that's something I do want to bring up real quick, and that pisses me off, okay? You're living in a world in which you have people like Blackbeard with black hole powers, Buggy who can be cut up into pieces and not
float up in
die,
the air.
and Luffy who can stretch for infinite, distances with rubber. You have all these people with these crazy powers. Why is it such a mystical thing that there might be a fish with a fucking nose?
Or
Why
like
is
a point
that
of
the-
the sea where all 4 of the blues connect?
Yeah, why is that such a weird thought, knowing all the other bullshit that goes on?
And because they're in one of the seas and information doesn't reach there, if ever.
But they can see Luffy and Smoker. Smoker's known in the East Blue. It's like they
as
know
being
that there's a
boss
dude.
and being the
Yeah,
best
there's a
ever.
dude that's known in the area for being able to turn into smoke, and yet, nah, man. Elephant tuna, that's too weird for me.
well, and then you get this moment in which Luffy yells, "You can't kill me! I'm gonna be the Pirate King!" And they're all like, Well, you're gonna be killed, so I guess that it doesn't really matter.
And then
Zoro and Sanji show up.
come in, just blank faces, like, and they're practically going, Luffy, what are you doing up there?
Hi Sanji, hi Zoro, I'm gonna be
zero.
executed.
And then he smiles at them, going, "Well, I'm dead, guys." As the
As, like,
clouds
guys-
above release a lightning bolt,
Like
hitting-
static charges, like from the sword.
hits
and from the
Buggy's
top
sword
of
that he's been holding up as a lightning rod, and just destroys the platform. And I'm
And
like,
Luffy's fine because he's rubber.
yeah.
Remember that.
Remember
Luffy
this.
It might
shrugs
be-
off lightning because he's rubber. We're 2 arcs away from that being very important.
Over arcs. If it was 2 arcs away, it would happen in Drum Island.
Wapple.
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 So
Make me
Luffy
want
gets
malted
up,
milk.
and everyone just, and all of his teammates just go, run, as they basically just pick him up and leave.
Yeah,
Insert Benny
because
Hill
he
theme
wants
here.
to stay and keep fighting, because he's like, I want to fight, this is awesome, guys. They basically take him and they run backwards.
Insert Benny Hill theme here.
Basically,
Smoker,
for the
though, is
rest
a
of the
little
set.
bit worried, because he's like, man, all these coincidences keep stacking up. This is not only the day that Roger was executed, this is, I was like,
Buggy,
certain things are going
Alvida,
on.
the Straw
All of
Hats.
these people have been showing up.
Out of the woodwork.
Lightning
almost.
strikes for one of the first times in the city's history.
A huge storm.
Which is
rolls in
weird
like
because,
that.
as we know, Logtown has, bunches and bunches of actual lightning rods to dissuade hazardous
In case
weather
from
because
it,
they're so
yeah.
close to
And
the
it
Grand
missed
Line.
all of them.
Missed all of them and went straight for Buggy.
Almost as if it was called to just strike
Or
him down
as-
as he
Or
stood.
as
Earlobes
Smoker says,
intensify.
it's as if heaven itself is trying to let that man live.
Which
The
is
will of
Yeah.
is foreshadowing, especially in light of
By the way.
recent episodes
This way?
of
Yeah.
recent comics.
So he's like, this storm of fate is blowing in, as we literally see the embodiment of Storm of Fate showing up with his tattooed face.
Rocking this like dark green cloak. He's like, a pirate. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And he's just like smiling. It's like, that's a good career.
Really,
choice,
really
like,
cool end of an episode, though. Like,
Yeah,
Episode-
especially
pretty
to
good
end
way
on
for that episode to end.
Possibly, like, in the world of One Piece, the character who just showed up is one of the single biggest movers in the entire
And
series.
definitely a shaker.
Oh yeah, definitely a shaker.
Episode 53
Definitely
starts with
man
them
and girl,
continuing
at
to
least
run.
once.
Yeah. Episode 53 starts with them continuing to run. And at the beginning of the episode, I realized, how does Alvida walk if she has no friction? And then she removes her shoes. I'm like, oh yeah. And I looked over, I saw Buggy turn himself into a car. I'm like, what is this?
The Buggy Mobile!
It's like it comes back to what fresh hell is this? I saw this. And what was the note I made?
Yeah, he's planning on joining wacky races.
He wants a piece of that Penelope pit stops, if you know what I'm saying.
It's like, and then Smoker just goes, all right, enough of this. Like, you guys stay there. It's like, because I can't be dealing with you small fries. I gotta go chase Luffy.
You know what I just realized? Later when we get Frankie's, General Frankie, and the Frankie Mobile, the Buggy Mobile, Alvida's slip and slide, and Smoker's ability to zoom around with his smoke. Why don't we have a One Piece racing game yet?
Because that would be hokey, and old JonTron is better.
But Hokey is like half of One Piece, man.
No, it's half of an arc of One Piece.
Fair enough. Shenanigans is the other
are
half.
all of One Piece.
Yeah. Like
So
the fucking fruit.
So Smoker basically uses his plume
Where'd it go?
fruit to freeze everyone in place in his smoke
Like,
that
he
he is
grips
conjuring
them
from
like
his
a
body.
hand, like, and he grabs each of them and pins them all down, and they throw a net on top of them. It's like, I'll be back. You guys stay right there, and he just goes off.
Bye,
And he
Smoke.
leaves his goons with them.
So we cut back to Moji, who is still
Wrong arc
trying,
for that, man. It's
who
the
is
wrong
still
arc.
trying to strike these matches to light the Mary on fire. It's like, it's raining, so you can stop.
Or-
Usopp and Nami
Wicked
shows
Fire
up,
Starter.
basically going,
He
"Oh,
tosses
hey."
the fresh egg star.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's used this before, but they showed it off in the first opening, so who knows?
Yeah, they use it in the opening, and then so it nat one's like right on the ground right there,
But
and it still killed the
I
lion.
forgot to mention the lion is making vroom vroom noises because
That's a
I
motorcycle.
said that last time.
Yeah, it's like vroom, vroom, vroom.
He's a motorcycle. It's fine. Motorcycle. I
Oh,
mean,
so
maybe
it still, like,
no. You know what it is?
poisons the lion.
It's hinting at Kamen Rider Build years later, where we get the lion full bottle that goes in Build's phone to make the build cycle.
It sounds like people stare at you and like question.
No, I know what he's talking about, but it's like I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to pull up those images. Either way,
We'll find a way.
Tashigi shows up to stop the three of them. As Zoro goes, "I will take her on alone." It's like, okay.
If you hurt her, I'll kill you.
It's like, yes. What happened
So what
immediately
I-
afterwards? Because
So I have Tashigi used Indignant Rage. It was super effective on Sanji. Zoro wins the fight, but Tashigi used look like Kuina. It was super effective on Zoro.
So mean.
used mean luck.
It was super effective.
Use
And then
dramatic
no
childhood
Wild
pass.
Smoker blocks your path.
But did you notice that he pulled out two swords to combat her, and neither one was the bloodthirsty sword?
Because he didn't want to
Kill
hurt
her.
her. Like, he
Although
just
they
wanted
start
to
yelling
stop.
back and forth of like, you don't respect me as a swordsman because I'm a woman, isn't it? And it goes, no, it's because you have her face. Give it back.
I love Zoro.
Zoro's the best, man. No sense of direction and such a weirdo. No, but Wild Smoker blocks the way. And as we come to learn, apparently Smoke is weak to Dragon.
Yeah, very weak to Dragon, in fact.
Insanely weak to Dragon.
Also, Nami and Usopp get back to the ship and they start raising anchor somehow. There was no one on board to actually pull it up, so I don't know how it was getting pulled up. Either way.
The Mary is living. I will forever say this.
So
the Mary is a living being.
Smoker starts
It might
using...
as well be an actual part of the crew at this
So
It was. I mean, look
It
at later.
is.
Look later what happens, man. Like, that's gonna be an episode to talk about.
yeah, so Sanji shows up to the ship and he starts taking out some people because he left Luffy back to fight Smoker.
Why do they ever leave him without a chaperone?
Okay, to be fair, even if you went as a chaperone with Luffy, you're not gonna stick around for very long.
And Smoker basically has him on the
Especially with Zoro.
ropes as a man who they address him as Dragon shows up, puts his hand on him, going, "Don't do this. He's important.
Okay.
You're like wanted all over the. You're probably the most wanted man in existence. What
Yeah.
are you doing here?" And he goes, "Having a bit of fun," as he makes this
A gale for like a
gale-
typhoon. It's like a category like what 3 typhoon right in the center of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that he has storm calling powers, and we still to this day do not know what
We
his powers
don't
are.
know if it's a devil fruit or not.
He
That's
could
the
just be
problem.
so powerful. He's commanding.
He could use.
Well, it's like All Might, you know. You can
he
punch.
could
You can
use
punch the
like
wind.
some kind of like technology of some kind.
He's gone with the wind.
Do you?
I'm trying to look for something else. And in the typhoon, Buggy's crew plus Alvida is also able to get away.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He gives everyone the cover they need to escape. Nobody suffered any losses. No one really suffered any defeats either, because it was more of a stalemate at that point because of escape being the priority.
Uh-huh.
The only really quote-unquote lost was Smoker.
Oh yeah, because this was the first like
Ever.
group of
Pirate that
pirates
because he
let
captured
through.
all of Buggy's crew
except
in
for
one hand.
except for
essentially.
those 4 basically.
But he lost the entirety of the Straw Hats, Alvida, Buggy.
No, Alvida
Lion
and Buggy
Tamer,
are still.
Cabbage Boy.
Oh yeah, no.
Cabbagey, Cabbagey. his name again?
Unicycle Man is gone.
Yeah, angsty teen.
Cirque du Soleil.
So
like that
after
one
the
too.
Gale
That's a
Force
good one.
winds just go through, Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, who had
They
jumped off the
basically
ship
do
to like try to take out some guys, and Sanji, who
Or
are all in the
slingshot.
exact same place, and they're like, oh, hey, let's just get back to the ship, and Luffy slingshots them onto the ship
And
in
Zoro
a very comedic
sees
fashion.
and Zoro, who's been through this like twice already, is like, oh no, not again! I can't go back.
I can't go back to prison.
Look
He
at
will be though.
Look at the buns on this guy. This is the comedy police. The joke's too funny. I can't go back to jail.
I love that joke. That's a good one.
As the storm is not relenting, they see the guiding light
Or the
lighthouse,
Like
and they're like,
beckoning them
"That's the
forward.
mountain."
Time for filler.
Yeah. But remember, we have a moment of dreams are important, guys,
And
in
then
which they
They all
and then they
restate their
mazel
dreams.
tov.
Luffy, king of the pirate. Nami, make a map of the world. Sanji, find the all blue. Zoro, be the best swordsman. And Usopp, become a brave warrior of the sea. And then they all kick a
mazel
fucking barrel.
tov. And then they basically just mazel tov a
To be fair,
barrel
like,
open.
it does feel like an interesting way to christen a
It
you know,
does.
yeah.
It seems
Without-
like the full christening of
like
the
you're
marriage.
stating your mission objectives, and then you go
Well, like,
yeah.
crashing wine everywhere. That's a waste of good alcohol.
Also, I don't
Uh-oh.
think Zoro would appreciate it.
I forgot to actually plug the.
You should probably plug it in, otherwise we don't want to lose power in the middle of the podcast. That would not be gravy.
That would be fun. It's like, oh, hey
Let's
guys,
do it again.
let's do half of the podcast all over again.
Yeah. So we jump into the
Inexplicable
filler.
shirt change.
So we meet
And I look like
Apis,
5
who
times more
is
tired.
a young girl that looks like that she just escaped from the Vatican.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Don't worry, she's fine. She's not a
She's
young
not
boy.
like- You beat me to it by 1 second. We're terrible.
And
people.
Apis
I know,
escapes
right?
from her military assigned room with hiding behind the door trick.
That didn't work.
No, she actually looks around and the doorknob is like emblazed on her face. If she just like on the wrong part, and then she just trips out the door. And it's like, this is gonna be a thing with her, isn't it?
She's a dumb.
So she starts
She's not the last.
she starts running away from all the guards, and she climbs up the mast and then starts cutting the rope off that is connecting the
Killing
mast.
all but 6 of the Marines, most likely, in her escape attempt.
Yeah. Probably would have killed her.
Killed all of them.
Accidentally mass murder.
And
Womp
then,
womp.
and then probably the most disgusting looking
Level-
character that Oda has
level
ever
6.
made shows up.
I'll fight you on that.
And the person he works for.
Ding ding, let's go.
And the person he works for, which is this really fat guy.
It's fat gum.
Oh, I wish. That would be awesome.
He would have been an actual goodly, a better written character. A goodly written character.
Ew, gross.
Probably because he's a filler villain that Oda probably had nothing to do with except for the stamp of approval. It's like, is there a devil fruit that I'm gonna use? No. There you guys go.
So
I don't know what's worse though, his obesity or his lack of fashion sense.
Or like his
No. The lack of
terrible-
fashion sense of the guy with like really thin glasses and his hair is like
None of them have good fashion
like,
sense. This
like
is
the
One
Tron
Piece.
you mean like the
Yeah, a Tron reject,
remake?
yeah.
No, he looking like Geordi from Star Trek, looking through the.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I actually said that he should try to get glasses like that.
It's not gonna help.
No,
No glasses can help me anymore.
Yeah. So
Oh, the joys
Luffy
of
looks
incurable diseases.
Luffy looks over and he sees birds surrounding the filler plot. As he goes, hey, what are we gonna do? Gum, grab. Ugh.
Because
Hey, this
he
isn't
thought
neat.
it was-
Just goes to check it over the side as
he
Apis is
knocked
just knocked.
Zoro off of the ship, trying to get her onto the boat. It's like backhand
So much
Zoro off,
bad
and
stuff
they like
happens to
throw
Zoro.
him back up with like a single thing of rope, and he's just like frozen. Like, I hate all of you. I'm going to kill him. I'll cut him down with my sword.
So she wakes up as
My powerful
Sanji,
sword.
as Sanji is like making food, and she's like, "Where am I?" And I was like,
You're on a boat.
You're on a boat. What's your name? Shouldn't you give your name first? And then because I like her already.
Yeah. It's like, oh, she's just like me.
We don't need a second Nami. Overboard.
Well, we're gonna get a second
Because-
Nami either way.
We're
And
gonna
then
get
a third!
many Namis. Yeah, and then they all meet up in the current chapter. So she goes, wait, this is a pirate ship? As she imagines like the most evil versions of them, in which
None of them are true.
none of them are
Like,
true.
Luffy's-
Especially Usopp's, in which his chin is massive and his nose is smaller. It's like,
See,
what?
my favorite thing about this though is it just reminds me of back in the Usopp arc of the young kids looking at Nami and going, Onibaba, will you
Third
stop
time.
taking drinks whenever I'm taking
Will you
jokes?
stop making
Taking
jokes when I'm
jokes.
taking drinks?
The night passes in which she's like, well, now I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go grab some food. As she falls over Luffy, who's trapped in a human-sized mousetrap. And Sanji's like, stop taking food in the middle of the night, Luffy. It's like, but I'm hungry.
I want to know who built the mousetrap. My bet's on Usopp.
It was probably
It was
Usopp.
probably Usopp.
Special
As
star.
per order.
Rat trap.
If it was Frankie later on, it would have had his face on the little the hammer thing.
Huh, it seems there's something written on the mousetrap.
Ha,
Oh,
ha,
Ore. Oh
ha. Ole. Ole. Ole.
no! Ore.
Oh.
Ahmed Ore.
Oh. And she finds out that they're really pirates in name only.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I don't
When
think.
in
I
reality,
honestly,
they're
I-
basically a
Like,
chaotic.
who's the most...
They're a
The-
chaotic
okay,
good group
like,
the only
that are
person,
sailing, fighting the lawful evil people.
The only person in the entirety of the One Piece series that actually acts like a pirate
Kid.
is Nami. She's the only one who actually steals
Yeah.
Well, in the
treasure.
crew,
She
there's
steals.
Robin,
She steals from people she cares about.
We never saw Robin
And then
steal
she gives
anything.
it.
but
She stole our hearts.
she is the
Get the fuck out. Oda already said One Piece isn't some namby-pamby emotion
Yeah, we actually brought that
stuff,
up last
so...
chapter as well
Yeah.
because they addressed it as a proper noun.
Other characters as well
The
who
One
are
Piece.
pirates
Where is One Piece?
in all of the sense. It's
Can't wait for
Kid,
that. It's great.
Blackbeard,
And Nami.
Bartolomeo.
Well, he's more of a fanboy.
He's more of the.
Yeah,
I
but
wanna
he-
be a-
Fanboy!
he
Let
has-
me hawk your
Well,
merch!
He has moments in which he does pirate-like things in stealing stuff.
Yeah.
So,
burning down entire
So-
villages and hawking Luffy merch.
Cuts back
on
to
the
Like-
ashes.
Cuts back to later, and
Hey, Jace!
like, it cuts back to later, and
Why are you selling Luffy merchandise? Luffy's the best. I don't appreciate you selling Luffy merchandise on my island. We'll take a t-shirt for everyone in the crew. And then you have to leave.
And then I will forget I saw you.
yeah. And I was like, he shows up and he has the Luffy.
I know,
merch shirt
I'm
and the
waiting for
jacket.
Luffy to land on Raftel. Shanks has his back to him with his nice black coat. I have come to return your hat. And Shanks turns around and there's just Luffy with a big old pink heart.
What have you been up to?
Well,
Shane?
we're going back to East Blue, guys.
It's like, no, wait!
So, yeah,
You
it
thought
cuts
it was
back to
Shanks, it
later.
was actually I, Ben Beckman.
So it shows up later.
Every one of Shank's crew is just Ben Beckman in a different disguise.
He just has the duplication food.
Yep. There was never... Everyone else in the world except for Luffy is Ben Beckman. Everyone. Every single person. Frankie, Zoro, Sanji, Ace. No, literally everyone else is
Dragon.
just disguised Ben Beckman. And Luffy's the only one who isn't.
And the ships themselves are
The water is made of smaller Ben Beckmans. The air itself is little Ben Beckmans with wings.
So we
But
get
one like an angel and the other like a demon.
an ocean demon, sky angel.
Seahorse.
So Sanji hears a loud explosion from the kitchen a little bit later, as it turns out that she basically destroyed all of their good pots, trying to make food. And Sanji is like, "Oh, I'm not very impressed, but don't waste this girl's kindness." And Nami goes, "Fine," and she basically stops on Zoro's foot, making him a human dumpster, and just like piles all of her food into his mouth.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, the reason why the food sucks is because she put spice instead of cinnamon or sugar. And like
Most likely she put
and, like,
cinnamon instead of pepper.
Sanji's face is like
Actual
trying to learn.
pain.
To be young.
Are you crying out of pain? No, it's joy.
And Luffy goes,
Joy, I say.
and then she goes, "Maybe I might make some food later." And Luffy's like, "I'll be fine with that. This food's good." And they're like, "No, it's not."
But he would eat anything.
Well,
he would eat his own foot if he had to.
Well, here's the thing. He likes any food that didn't try to kill him before, during, or after the meal.
That's not true, because he wanted to eat the octopus that tried to kill him.
You got a point.
And he punched a sea serpent and
the
said,
bird.
Sanji,
He also ate.
cook that.
He also ate Cracker's duplicates.
Not his duplicates, it was his biscuit soldiers. But
Cracker.
that's spoilers. Shush, we didn't say anything. Shh, no telling one.
Cracker.
Who's Cracker?
The biscuit man who has cookie powers. It's like,
I
you're just annoying us at every
Gotta
turn.
curry.
Like he's supposed to
I
be
have
in
to
the
ask.
Sky Island. He's supposed to
Is
be in
that
the
guy
Sky
a biscuit or a
Island.
cookie? I think we're all British, so...
Gotta curry. I've defeated you. Before I leave the mirror world, tell me something. Do you know the Muffin Man?
And then Lord
The lives on
Farquaad goes,
Drury
"The
Lane?"
Muffin Man?"
The Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Pops out of the mirror
Interesting.
from like nowhere. It's like, who lives on Drury Lane? It's like,
Where are they hiding? Eat me! I love that movie.
it's the best line of the whole movie. Like
Um,
we are so bored with these grouping of episodes.
I
we
fucking
literally
hate
talk
filler.
about everything
Yeah.
I
else.
hate fillers so
So,
much.
the
So
worst
boring.
dressed man on Earth stole Gin's outfit from the Baratai arc. And he's just walking around with these Geordie shades and big hair going, "She was
Geordie
on
shades.
that ship, I know it. Shoot it."
Where is One Piece?
You'll never
Shoot it.
find the Dratinis without her. I mean the Dragonite.
Dragonite. I put that elixir of immortality is a Gen 1 flying dragon type.
Fair enough.
That no one.
Looking at his face gives you eternal happiness.
I thought it was disappointment.
Kind of stopped paying attention there for a bit. Zoro is suspicious of the birds.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
So
'cause
they basically
things
go,
stop
"Oh,
moving."
Apis goes, "The birds are telling me that the wind is gonna pick up." And Nami goes, "Okay, let's ride the wind." And they ride it off. And Zoro's like, "The wind's not blowing anymore." And then Nami
The
goes,
sail's not moving.
"Oh no, we went into the calm
Like,
belt."
she's spiraled.
Smash cut into the next episode, in which she starts freaking out and telling them that for unknown reasons the calm belt has no actual tide to it, so no waves go
Okay,
across the ocean, and there's
so-
no wind.
The calm belt is based on an actual phenomenon called the doldrums. It is a place in which opposing wind pressures
Level
eliminate
themselves out.
wind, and all you get is
It's
deep sea
physics.
ocean currents. There's no top layer ocean currents to actually push ships out. And most of the time, doldrums do have motion. They're not exactly perfectly placid, but they mostly move in very slow circles. Out in the Pacific Ocean, it's where you'll find a lot of the
Of the
Great
trash.
Pacific trash pile. A lot of the microscopic plastics are in the doldrums because they're just swirling and coalescing.
There he goes.
It is actually the most dangerous place for ships back in the old days to be, because normally they didn't have the manpower to row themselves out with these huge ships. All they could rely on was the wind, but it's so rare for wind to come to the doldrums. Mostly became a ship graveyard. You were screwed.
Yeah.
And there are probably a lot of ships that just went missing with like troves and troves of treasure at the bottom of the doldrums.
Yeah, probably
So-
gone forever.
You have a and so they
No bears.
so all of these sea kings start popping up in the
But-
water.
Googly eyes comes up first, and
Yeah.
so everyone freezes to employ the Velociraptor trick.
It doesn't work.
No.
Clever girl.
Instead,
Because Usopp starts freaking out.
what
As
happens
usual.
is essentially, since Apis falls off the ship and Luffy has to like grab her with his stretchy arms, she basically goes, "Throw me into his nose. I will pluck one of his nose hairs, and he will sneeze me back onto the. He will sneeze us back onto the water."
And that works. How?
Yes.
This was roughly around the time
Shenanigans.
in which I lost track of the episodes because I just fell asleep.
Yeah, I was so
watched
bored.
The rest of
I was
them.
so bored of this.
You want me to give you a summary of the last episode?
I basically woke up at the point where they were talking about the dragon.
Story time with Grandpa Boring. Like, what could be the most interesting part of the episode is told in the most boring and pointless way.
So looking at all these episodes as a whole, I have to say that if the filler wasn't here, this group would definitely be gold. But the filler just drags it down so hard. Because I would honestly give this final filler piece a bronze, and it drags the whole arc down, or this whole section of 5 episodes down to a silver.
You were saying?
I would just everything gets drugged down by these fillers. These fillers are the only good filler in this had to be the Sanji versus Carmen because honestly, anything even filler that shows off Sanji's skill for cooking makes me really happy just because I love watching Sanji cook. So that one gets a pass. Also because it reaffirms his dreams and reaffirms his motivation. So it actually matters that filler happened. This final filler, though, with Alpus, is nothing. It's absolutely 100% animated waste garbage.
And
But
they even
it's
say,
not
like,
even
we're
white
furthering the
noise.
plot. It's
we're
not even
so
furthering the plot.
close. We're so close to the Grand Line. Let's go all the way back to this island. Learn that her devil fruit is about whispering to animals.
She's
And this weird backstory with, like, a dragon under a mountain. I was like, okay, we're going to be doing this for the next 5 episodes.
It's like this dragon has no right to be this.
On the bright side,
disappointing.
this filler arc ends with them actually dueling with another person as they're going up Reverse Mountain.
I mean, fair enough, yes, but these first 2 episodes are just hot garbage.
Yeah.
They're animated white noise.
I
They
will
don't
say
matter.
that the
You can
only
skip
reason why I remotely liked the first episode of this filler
Like
is
watch
because
the,
the
first 5
connections
minutes.
between
With the calm
Apis
belt.
and between Apis and the crew is really nice and
Like-
is really cute with them. But that's all it is. It's
Here's
a
what
cute
I would
girl
say.
in a terrible situation.
Animated white noise.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say. You can skip the first Apis episode, but the second one, watch the first 5 minutes where they explain what the calm belt is.
Because that
You're
actually
gonna need
is
that.
canon.
'Cause
The,
you're
the
gonna
calm
need
belt
it.
is actually important for later.
Yeah. So watch the first 5 minutes of episode 54,
55.
55, and then just skip the rest of the Apis episodes.
Yeah, just ignore them.
We aren't going to though.
No, we
I
have to
watch.
talk about them. We're
But we're
doing
gonna-
this for you. A noble sacrifice.
I'm also doing it for
And
me
us.
because if I get off of a groove, I might never get back on.
That's true.
Yeah, we did kind of have 2 weeks in which we didn't have a video.
Well, to be
now,
fair,
so-
we had a convention to go to, and then some people were sick, and we just didn't have time.
And we had technical difficulties, which made it go even longer. So, it's like
Yeah.
so
But we're back now. Everything's good. I'm here.
And apparently this episode was so bad, it actually made me sick.
Yeah, apparently.
yeah.
I mean, I know that I don't like certain fillers, but man, I've never thrown up watching an episode. Damn.
Yeah.
It wasn't during the episode, I was trying to talk about the episode.
Even worse.
My food tried
The
to spare me
recollection.
of talking
The
about
recollection of the episode made you violently ill. And now the
I need
total,
more
and now
food.
the score is 3 for me, 2 for the drink trying to kill her.
And now I need more food, that could also kill me.
So, final
Player
thoughts,
4 has entered the challenge.
final thoughts on the episodes. IJ.
Mm-hmm. the episodes with Logtown are a must see. The
Oh, absolutely.
first 5 episodes with them inside the calm belt,
Or not.
like as soon as they hit the East Blue again, skip to the fight at Reverse Mountain.
Yeah. Then you basically got the manga parts.
Yeah.
Which were
Honestly,
so much better.
the reason why they did this filler arc is because they were still in the middle of Alabasta, and they didn't want to start Alabasta until the entire arc was done.
Mm-hmm.
So they did this filler arc. It still wasn't quite done, so they went on a
won't have that
hiatus of like
problem.
2 to 3 months, and then they went back onto it. Any final thoughts from you?
None that I can think of. Really, just everything's been talked about. You know, get the first 5 minutes to learn about the calm belt, and then skip everything else until you get out of the, well, honestly, the calm belt of the fillers.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this filler is. It's the calm. It's why I named this in my notes the calm belt filler arc.
It's just so boring.
It's
I hate filler.
It
I hate
has
filler.
no right to be this.
You
boring.
weren't here on last week, in which we had the buggy filler episode.
The Buggy filler episodes are great though, because Buggy's an interesting character
I
and a
would
dumbass.
I would rewatch the Buggy filler arcs, which I hated, over these after.
You didn't like the Buggy fillers?
The
I
first
gave the
episode was
second
almost a
episode
stone.
my stone.
Really?
Yeah, because you get 1
Alvida
stone and 1
saved
platinum per
The
series.
I don't know if
Episodes-
I'd give it a stone. I'd give the stone probably to
For me,
one of these episodes.
the episodes weren't as offensively bad as they could have been.
That's true. I mean,
Like, to
You-
be a
you
stone,
can go
it
wrong.
has to offend me on a
56 might
visceral
actually be
level.
your stone then.
probably. That or 57.
Yeah, because 59 and 60 and 61 are the actual manga related ones where they actually reach.
The Grand Line and whatnot.
No, just Reverse Mountain.
They get to the Grand Line by then.
3 episodes of them just on Reverse
Oh
Mountain.
my god, it's gonna take forever to get to the Grand Line. You think this is bad having to wait for 5 episodes per week? Think about the fact that at this point we're already like 2 years into the series. Because they released like 25 episodes per year.
No, they released 40 in the first year and
Did
then
they?
30
They
in
went
the second
20
year.
Okay, so that means we're still in the first year.
Yeah, the where the new opening starts is the end of the first year.
Think about that. We get to the Grand Line as
So-
the Grand Line is this big goal, and we get there within the first year.
And then we
And now we're
leave after
sitting
a
here like 7 years later,
Mhm.
and we're just like, this show exists.
So, how about that parrot? So, how about that new world? But so, before
Reverie.
we go, what did you think about the opening? The new opening we have, what did you think about it? Because I don't think we got your opinion of it.
It's okay. I don't care much for the openings for One Piece for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
None
But
of the
it's
openings
Eurobeat.
grab
Everyone
me.
loves Eurobeat.
I love Eurobeat.
Running in the no.
But I know the perfect thing to end this podcast on. What did you think about the newest chapter?
Newest. Oh my god.
Have you seen it yet? Have you read it yet?
Yeah.
We read it when I was at my eye exam where I learned that I had that incurable disease.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll be going now.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Felicia.